What's up, guys? Happy New Year's. Hope everyone had a good evening last night, both DFS and real life. Um, Gonna go right into the slate today. 5 game slate. I want to get these picks out early because there's a lot to talk about and a lot to reassess later in the day. There are a lot of pieces that I like on this slate. Even though it's only a 5 game slate, not a lot of guys out there. A lot of good matchups. Um, and a couple games later on, one thing that I'm waiting on is the line for the 76ers game tonight. It's the late game against the Clippers. That should be a competitive and high scoring game. Not necessarily the game that I want to target, but a couple of pieces that I want to pull from if I can. There are a lot of higher mid tier pieces that I like on this slate. So, but before we do get into the picks, go ahead and throw a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for alerts so you get a ding whenever I post a new video. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the DFS Picks. I'll be posting injury news later on today. We should hear a couple different things. Probably early. It's probably not going to be a game time decision today, like there was. There were a couple yesterday that changed the lineup considerably, like right down to the bell, which was a little annoying on New Year's Eve, having to change rosters while out. But also, I'm gonna be throwing up some premium content. The website's gonna be coming up sometime mid-month. If you do want to get in, it'll be full write-ups for each day's slate. I'm going to go in also to showdowns and give full lineups for showdowns as well. And if you do get in early, just shoot me a message, and you get in early. We'll do discount half price for everyone that gets in on the ground floor. So let's get into the picks today. The one game I'm looking at is the Portland Sacramento game. High total, should be a close game. Unless the Philly Lakers game, unless Vegas says that it's going to be a crazy high total, which I don't expect. But it's possible the way that the Clippers play. I'm looking at a game stack with Portland and Sacramento. The issue with that is there aren't a lot of lower end value pieces right now. Like I said, that could change by the end of the day with some injury news that we're waiting on. But we'll see with that. I did a shell lineup earlier, and I just didn't have enough pieces to get enough out of the Portland Sacramento game that I wanted. But first piece is going to be Damian Lillard. He has been cheap recently, 8,700. Not as cheap as he has been, but he went off against Golden State, and at that price, hit for him against Sacramento, and everyone knows that Sacramento gives points to everyone. A guy like Lillard is a lock, and he's where I'm starting right now. So I'm gonna lock him in at 8,700, and his backcourt mate is going to be CJ McCollum. Love him at 6,600. He should eat at that price. And if you look at his game log, 3 of the last 5, he's a cash value. He hit GPP value in his last game against Philly, and all of those aren't great matchups. Particularly the one against Utah, the 2 against Utah back Christmas and a couple days before Christmas. He has a great matchup tonight, and so between him and Lillard, they should put up a bunch of points. Now, going away from this game, if you don't want a game stack, there are a couple pieces that I love. One is going to be Rudy Gobert, playing in Toronto tonight at 8,000. Price is reasonable. It's not great. It's reasonable, though. And his last 3 games have been tremendous, putting up 48, 47, and 51, especially at that price tag. If you had him against Portland at 7,200, he put up 51. You did. You probably did work that night. but him against Ibaka tonight, Ibaka just does not match up against Gobert, and so Gobert should be able to get a good amount of blocks. He should be able to eat in the paint, and so another high end piece, high end mid tier, low price stud on this slate. Now, as you see, it's spending up. He's spending a little bit with these picks. So hopefully, I'm really hoping that there's some value later on, that we get something in the 3600 range to balance these picks out. Last of the 4 picks is going to be Noah Vonleh. So he's been pretty consistent recently. Last 4 games, the lowest one was back against Atlanta, 31. But he's cheap enough. He has been cheap enough, at least, that's 6 times upside, and he is more expensive now at 6,300. But he gets the minutes even in blowouts, which the Knicks have been part of. The Knicks are not a good team, but him and Knox get the fourth quarter minutes. They're getting 33, 35, 37 minutes, even in blowouts. So the Utah game, they were blown out from the start. They were down 30 points, and he was getting fourth quarter minutes still. And this is going to be a good matchup against Denver. So I'm looking for him to have another 40-point game tonight. And at 6,300, that gives you some good upside as well if they happen to keep it close. So lock in Vonleh. So that leaves 5,100 for the rest of the pieces. Now, Giannis is playing tonight. I love playing Giannis, but I don't know that I spend up on him in this spot. The line on the game is 10.5, and it's not the best matchup. So I don't know, with all the other mid-tier pieces that have really good matchups, that we spend up to Giannis at 11.6 tonight. Giannis is always in play. He's always, it's always possible for him to hit 70 points, like he did against New York and Brooklyn. But against those teams, those were cake matchups. So Giannis definitely in play if you want to spend up for him. But with the slate tonight and with all the other pieces, I mean, I even go into, Blake Griffin's in a good matchup. Fox is in a good matchup. I like Jokic in that matchup, but that's most likely going to be a blowout, and he doesn't play big minutes in blowouts. So there's a lot to look at this slate, and a lot that I'm sure is going to change in the next, 8 hours or so. So going with those picks, you have 5,100 left to divvy out, and I will, like I said, I'll post on Twitter and Instagram for any kind of updates that come up in the next little bit here. Go ahead and subscribe and thumbs up and all that good stuff. And if there's anything that pops up, I will get it out to you guys. All right. Happy New Year's Day.